one, I wanted to do a video on some of the functions of when you're on your tree. So if you look over here, right here, I'm on family search. I just clicked on my tree. You can go family tree, and I think it should take you here. Yeah, so you click here, and then it takes you to your tree. So that's where I'm at right now. And at the moment, I'm focusing on this individual, David Wallace. I think it's a few generations back. Maybe he's like my great grandpa or something like that. I can't remember, but um, I'm just kind of showing you if you're focusing on an individual in a certain point in time. So, like me specifically, I don't have any kids, but for David's case, he lived in this time and he had this number of children. So it shows like Isabella Wallace, for example, is directly related to these two parents. She married this man, Charles Hunter Forbes, looks like. And then William Wallace. So that's why I wanted to bring this up because some of you guys have heard of William Wallace. Um, he had the same last name as this isn't the William Wallace, but um, Braveheart guy. But anyway, I think they're related at some point, but this isn't the William Wallace. But I just thought it was kind of funny. So he is a son. So you see the blue here is a son of David and Isabella Miller, David Wallace and Isabella Miller. And then this is a daughter. So Isabella Wallace is a daughter of David and Isabella. Um, Shows the spouse. Isabella Bell was married to William Wallace. And sometimes we just may be lacking information, as in David's case here, David Jr., it looks like. Um, we do not have a spouse. So that's kind of what we do on family search is we try to research how to find this individual. So I'm not going to go into that so much today. I'm just giving you a brief overview of what the tree looks like and some of the functions here. This is kind of cool here that we've got some of my ancestors here, that my direct ancestors. These are the parents of I think my grandpa. I think. But anyway, or my great grandpa or something like that. But they have pictures here, as you can see, and some people have updated a lot of their information. As you look at individuals, you can see maybe somebody have uploaded memories, journal entries, things like that. I'm not gonna go into that right this second. Again, I just want to keep this simple for right now. So this is the portrait version. I can change it to landscape. I personally don't like the landscape all that much, but here's David. Here's the people that I'm directly related to. There are his Christina's siblings, George Wallace. I was talking about Isabella Wallace, William Wallace. Okay, so it's just a different view. And then David's parents. I didn't really go into that much, but David's parents are up here. Isabella Miller's parents are over here. It's interesting. The spelling of Miller is interesting. I know somebody with that same spelling. I must be related to them. But, so that's landscape. I actually prefer this one, the fan chart. It just has a much better view, in my opinion. But you may disagree with me. That's fine. So here we got David. We've got George Wallace. Christina Kellogg are his parents. And then it's showing their ancestry. So Christina Kellogg, her father's name was William Kellogg. So it's going back in the ancestry there. If you have a lot of ancestry done, it's really cool what you can do here. I like going on to this function, and you can go back super far into these lines and see how far back it goes. Sometimes they have it like back to like BC. It's crazy. You think it's funny, but it's actually a real thing. Here's some of the people I was showing you earlier. Here's William, Isabella. Yeah, so it just shows some of the kids right here. Oh, okay, so one of the cool things about this too is you can kind of see the coloration here. Shows family lines. Um, and something you can do to change that up is maybe you want to see, okay, some some of these details here can kind of you can highlight them. So if you want to go to, okay, which one of my ancestors has photos? I want to just see a lot of cool photos. So you click here, and actually right now I don't really have a lot. I'm just gonna show you. So over here we can see that. Oops, this over here. So over here we've got some photos for these individuals. It looks like Agnes Filler up. It looks like some kind of sigil or something. I don't know what you call that. Yeah, that's interesting. Huh. Um, doesn't have any actual pictures of their faces, but they have pictures on here, some photos. And then I'm going to change it up a little bit. So let's see here. David Wallace. And I want to change up my function here. Let's see. Okay, so if I want to go to the person, I just clicked on David Wallace directly. I can go in and see some of the details on him. I've got his name, his gender, his birthplace, right? His christening. So yeah, there's certain things that are documented, are well documented in like Scotland, for example, or certain countries. They have lots of info on, um, you know, baptistry records. If it's like the Catholic Church, for example, looks like we are missing a burial location, but we do have the date of death. So anyway, that's some ways to kind of some things to think about as far as maybe some resource or some research you need to do still. Um, right here, if you see the sources, this is showing kind of that you have something to back up why this is true. So I'm kind of going a little deeper than I hoped to here, but anytime I'm gonna try to teach you new things, if I can. Hopefully, I don't go too far into this. Life sketch: David Wallace was a weaver. Information on personal records. Oh, so it doesn't really have a whole lot there, but sometimes you can find like a kind of a general story of their life. Family members: David Wallace, Isabella Miller was his wife. He had 9 children. Holy moly. Parents and siblings: we got George Wallace, Christina Kellogg, and they had 10 children. They one upped him. These are his siblings. These are David's siblings, his parents and his children. Okay. Some things over here are kind of cool to take note of. So I was looking at possible duplicates. Sometimes you may have entered some information in that someone else has created, like the same individual. So you could look on here and make sure that if there's some mistakes, maybe you can find a way to make sure that they have the right info if someone else puts some information out there. So this is exactly what I was just talking about. Some people have done some efforts to update this information, a couple events. So maybe it was when they got married. Looks like Ruth Ann Chivington was another person like me who's just on here updating things. Did it a couple of years ago. Christening change. So maybe she found some more. Cowley Richard Jr. found some more information on that. So, yeah, kind of just look around when you're on this website and see what you see on the side. So if you're ever trying to find information to give you more, like I said, the sources, like over here, the sources are what's going to back up your information. So this is a good way to find that. So Ancestry is so good at finding information on whether or not, So I'm just going to look at his name here. And so we see we've got baptisms. So this is a registry of Scotland births and baptisms. So click on that, and this one's actually in Family Search, but I was going to see if they had one on Anyway, I'm just going to go back because I want to see what else we got here. Oops. Huh. I'm going to check this out and see what they say. Well, these are all from Family Search, but sometimes you'll have one that has a URL for like Ancestry. So anyway, just a way of checking your sources to make sure you've got updated information. So I kind of want to go back to my tree one more time here. Okay, so I'm in the fan chart, and I want to change this. I was showing you the photos. You can say stories if you want to read a story about an ancestor. Birthplace, looks like we've got a lot of birthplaces done in the UK. Okay, so it's showing where they were born. Sorry. So sometimes, yeah. We've got the United Kingdom, specifically Scotland here. And then we've got an Englishman. She's an English woman, obviously. So this one doesn't have a birthplace. You see that there? So it's unknown. Okay. Anyway, these are just some cool ways to see, like, if you're what you're looking for. You can go as many generations as you want to do. Maybe you just want to do 5 generations. Maybe you want to go out further out, like I just had it. 4 generations, going to compact it down a little bit. Yeah, so I did fan chart, descendancy. I don't really do this one that much. Oh, this kind of gives you another visual as to where it's at exactly. So here's David. His spouse was Isabella. And then we've got all his kids. Christina Wallace is my direct ancestor. Okay. Descendancy. And then first ancestor. Huh. I don't really do this one much. Huh. Patrilineal. So you're saying it's going from a male. So it's because of the surname, not because they're sexist. It's just trying to, because records. We're going by records here, so a lot of times they go by the surname. So I'm not trying to. It's mainly just out of identification. Makes it easier that way. Anyway, so I'm not gonna do it right now. But let's go back. Okay, so that's kind of just that's really all I wanted to do today with this. I want to go into some of these other things later, but that's what I wanted to show you. Thanks, guys.